Hello, welcome to Geeking Out with Shad. Today I'm going to talk about this Ego lawnmower that I've had. I've actually had this for uh, over 4 years now. I bought it in my previous house, and then I've been here, so I had it for about a year there, and the yard was actually much bigger in my previous house than this one, and this was able to do the whole yard. At this current house, I can do the yard like twice on a single charge. If you've been following my channel, you might notice that I have a video out there about that snowblower. I actually bought that snowblower after I've had this for a couple of years and really like the Ego product. So if you're curious, I'll put that video right up there in the corner. And let's go out and I'll talk about this lawnmower. I actually do not know if this model has changed much. This is the 21-inch Ego Power Plus. I'm assuming that over the last 3 or so years they've probably done some updates to it, but even though this is a little bit older, it's still really good. One of the things I like is that you can easily, like if you need to put it in a car or adjust the handle. Of course, I'm trying to do this with one hand while filming with the other, but like you can adjust the handle to your height. You can push that lever in and fold it forward if you need to have it in your car, right? So super slick. I like how easy it is to do because most cars have like a smaller back end if you don't have a truck or larger SUV or something. So there you go. The battery just easily goes in here. You pop it out. I got the mower that comes with the charger. A lot of times with the Ego products, because they all use the same battery, notice that there's extra space. They do make a bigger battery, which I actually have for my snowblower. It comes with 2 of the larger capacity batteries. So I can use one of those batteries in here, and that's what's super cool is everything's interchangeable. So technically, if I wanted to buy this after I'd bought my snowblower, I probably would buy the one, and it's a little less expensive without the batteries, because you really don't need that many batteries. It's like, well, I do this in the summer and I do the snowblower in the winter, so why would I need more batteries, right? But since I had this first, I got the snowblower with the batteries, obviously, because they're bigger and there's 2 of them and so on and so forth. Nice little carrying handle, things like that. One thing that I kind of lack at doing is I don't really do any maintenance on this thing. And there really isn't any maintenance that you need to do. There's no oil changes or any of that. But you should take it in and get the blades sharpened. So let's take a look underneath. It's pretty much a mess under there, and that's kind of my doing. I'm just not taking it in and getting it taken care of. It's not too bad, but you can see how it's kind of beat up from probably hitting rocks and things like that. Look at this one. That one's really bad. So I really need to take this in and get it sharpened. That's a biggie there, and it'll actually make it cut better and more efficient because the way it is now, it's not going to cut as good, so it's going to have to work a little harder. So yeah, I could actually, if I wanted to, do the labor myself and just take a file and file that down, and that would make a world of difference. Maybe I'll do that. You can also notice kind of how dirty it gets in here. Like there's this collected grass. So one reason why I like this more is because it is lower maintenance. I don't have to get oil changes. I don't have to go get gasoline, make sure I have, store the gasoline properly over the summer, any of that stuff. This mower just works. And so you can see it gets a little beat up, from scraping against things. But all in all, one thing that's impressive is this flap is still intact. A lot of times I've had mowers where this thing gets damaged. I mean, durability wise, it's solid. So yeah, probably better maintenance on the blade. I could probably even just unbolt it and take it in somewhere and not have to bring the whole mower, right? But aside from that, Everything is perfect. So let's go ahead and cut some grass with this crappy blade, and you'll see how it works. So all you have to do is push this green button and pull the lever in, and the mower just starts. And it's not silent, but it's definitely a lot quieter than a gas-powered mower, which I like. It's just really slick, and it actually cuts the grass really well. The grass isn't super long. I do have the height and the medium mode, and so I can just go back and forth here. Avoid this sign. Usually I take the sign out of the ground. And I don't know if I'll hit a patch that's long enough, but what ends up happening when I do is, here, I'll try to get over here relatively quickly and see if I can get it to actually work, because what it'll do is when it starts to get challenged, it'll ramp up speed so it won't stall out on you, which I find kind of cool. It automatically works harder or whatever, gives it more power when it starts to get challenged, and thus preventing it from stalling out, which is one of the features I really like on this mower, because even gas-powered mowers, when they stall out, you got to go and get them started again, which gas-powered mowers are kind of challenging that way. So let's pretend that the mower stalled out right now, right? And all I have to do to get it started again is just push the green button and pull in this lever, and it starts right back up. I've had gas-powered mowers. They got the little ripcord, and I've had to pull it, and sometimes when they stall out, they get a little flooded or something, and they're hard to get restarted again. Of course, the better quality gas-powered mowers do a better job at restarting, but I've definitely had some where you don't want it to stall out because it's such a pain in the butt to get it started again. With this, if it stalls out, I usually just back up, get it going again, and start mowing. And this is honestly not how I mow the lawn when I'm not filming. I stay pretty consistent. Now I'm matched up with where I was over there, and I stick pretty consistent. We're going back and forth, but I wanted to go over by the camera. So yeah, you get a pretty good idea how this works. So there's a lot of things that I really like about having an electric mower, mainly just not having to deal with gas, like not having to have a gas can sitting in the garage full of gas and having to go to the gas station to fill up the gas. I mean, that stuff I just prefer not to do. And with this, I don't have to go anywhere to get fuel for it or anything. I just simply plug in and charge the battery, and it's ready to go, and the battery lasts plenty long. And now that I have a lot of Ego products, I have multiple batteries, and even if I had to use this battery up, I would have another one I can just throw in there and finish. But my yard isn't big enough for me to ever do that. And so on and so forth. I did have a Ryobi 16-inch mower before I got this one, and I only had that one for a couple of years. And the reason why I switched to this one, and I still had my other house, which had a much bigger yard, was because the Ryobi couldn't do the whole lawn on a single charge, and the battery took a lot longer to recharge. The way that Ego has these batteries, they have a charger that has a fan in it, and they actually pretty rapidly charge the battery. And so you can actually get recharged much quicker, as to where, well within an hour, as to where the Ryobi one took like 4 or 5 hours, if I remember right. I'm trying to remember, but it was a long time before that battery could recharge. And so the narrower mower, the battery running out before I could finish my yard, all that. I liked the lightweightness of it and stuff, but I eventually just said I want a 21-inch mower, and I got this one. Quality wise, this mower is a lot better also. The Ryobi one, you know, that flap I showed you at the beginning, on the Ryobi one, it was already starting to tear and fall apart, and there was just plastics that were starting to come loose. The handle on the Ryobi one started to split and stuff, and now I've had this one longer than I had the Ryobi one, and it just has been really solid, and hasn't had any issues, and nothing is falling apart on it. I think there was one thing, oh yeah, the sticker is coming off or something, right? And that's my fault for banging it against things, right? So, you know, I definitely recommend the Ego electric products, because they just seem to be way more reliable and way better made. And 21-inch blade means I have to do fewer passes on the yard, get it mowed faster, things like that. So I did like the wider one, and I think Ryobi does make a wider, bigger bladed mower, but I would be worried more about the quality of it. So there you have it. I love this mower. It is super sweet, and you know, 3+ years going strong, probably 4 years now, and hasn't had an issue. I definitely need to file that blade or go take it in and have it taken care of. I think this is going to last me a very long time. It's, you know, been super reliable. There's nothing that seems to be wearing out on it or anything, and hopefully, you know, just like gas powered mowers, this thing can last, you know, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. I'd say maybe a battery would need to be replaced after, you know, 10 years or so, but I'm going 4 years and the battery hasn't shown any sign of degradation. I'm still able to do the whole lawn and still have plenty of battery left. Like I said, on this lawn, this is the backyard, and I just did the front yard. I can do 2 full lawn mowing sessions before the battery runs out. So there you have it. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.